Hey guys, it's Laura's Design Studio. I got started a little bit before I turned on the camera, but I haven't done anything exciting, believe me. I have 16 ounces of resin that has been in the mixer. I have a frog that's been under my UV light. The only thing I did was pour him clear. I saw Steve McDonald yesterday do something similar to this, but he was using epoxy and gilding glue and chameleon powder, and it turned out really cool. So I was gonna try it, but I'm gonna try and speed up the process and use UV resin. Don't know if it'll work. I don't have the gilding paste, but what I have is this foil glue for nails. So that is what's currently curing right now, on top of nothing but a clear layer. And all I did was add a little bit of the sparkle in the clear, and that's it. So when that comes out, the resin's gonna sit here for a minute. When this comes out, I'm going to put some of this chameleon powder on top of that gilding, or not gilding, that's what he used, on top of these nail file glue. And we're going to see if we can do something similar using UV nail foil glue and see if it'll turn out. Today is Friday, it's Froggy Friday, so of course we're making a frog. I'm also gonna pour this axolotl that I've been meaning to pour. I do have a jar mold over here, and I have some INTORESIN molds over here. And then of course we have the skull that I'm filling up with just extras. So if I have extras, they'll go in there. We'll see how much we can get done today. Probably won't demold any of the other stuff that I pour with this resin until tomorrow. My main objective is to try and get this frog done and pour everything and then put it on the heat mat and just let it sit for a while. And my neighbor's dog is tripping down the street with nobody. Okay. Okay, that is sticky, which is what we want. Let me move the axolotl out of the way. I'm gonna put this is a chameleon powder. I think he was using flakes. I don't have flakes, I have this. And I think this is the blue purple. So let's see if we can get this in here. I'm just putting this powder all over him. This is a resin rocker mold, which is made for UV. So we're gonna get this on here as much as we can. The toes are a little tricky. They have clear in them right now with the nail foil glue. Georgia! Thought I just heard her, but maybe not. Get in his head. it's sticking, which is a good thing. I swear this mold has more silicone that comes out of it. And this is not a Temu mold. This is not a cheap mold. Okay, I think I have him coated. He seems to be coated pretty good. And then all I'm going to do is pour some more clear. Put some put the sprinkle in there. I'm going to stir this up and pour it. And let's see how this little frog turns out. I want to make sure it gets all the way up into the feet, the toes. I'm gonna pour, see if I can pour just a little bit more in here. Spray some of these bubbles. And let's put him back under the light. Alright, that'll take care of UV resin. Let's get some, and we can put this stinky nail oil glue away. That stuff stinks worse than anything. Paddles cleaned off and out of here. Let's see if I can set him in here. Yeah, he's not gonna set, so we'll put it over here on the mat. Okay. You always want to scrape your sides and your bottom. Make sure everything's mixed in there good. Now the axolotl we're going to do with some alcohol inks. Dropping them in. Okay. Axolotl, here we are. Axolotl takes about 4.5 ounces. We're going to pour him just get him started. Gonna let it sit for a second. And let's see, colors we're doing in this. We're gonna do some sky blue, some red, some lemon yellow, and we will have white also. Put the chameleon powder back. And we're not gonna need this. And we're going to turn the light back on. Make sure that one is completely cured. You already took the lid off of it, Laura. Now, let's do this layer. Let's pour some. Now, I did not put eyes in him today. We can do, I'll just do painted on eyes. And then we'll, next time we pour him, we'll put the eyes in. Frankly, I was going to, and I just remembered right now. Too late. This is a Let's Resin mold. Your white will sink the other colors. Just cover them up. Gonna let those sit there and work for a minute. Don't know if I'm gonna need those right now or not. I make sure he has a little, I don't know what they're called, on fins, I guess, on top here. I want to squeeze those and make sure we don't have air bubbles in there. Get those down in there. Check on this guy. Okay, he's gonna need to go back under there for a little bit more. Make sure he's cured. Pour a little bit more clear into the axolotl here. There's some more alcohol ink. Some blue. Yellow. I'm gonna check these gills again. I guess that's what these are. These are gills, right? Does anybody know axolotl anatomy? I think these are gills. I could be wrong. Make sure he's all the way in the tail. clear. Still squeezing those. Make sure we have stuff down in them. Let's check the frog. Okay, I'm gonna cure him from the other side. Just want to make sure he is completely done before we take him out and see what we have. Okay. His tail looks good. Just trying to make sure these are filled and not filled with air pockets. Looks like I have it down in there now. I see some pretty green in his face now from the yellow and blue combining. White in here. We still have his toes to fill up and the rest of his tail and the rest of his head, but I'm going to let that sit. And we'll check on our frog here. I'm going to give him one more cure on his bottom side, and then I just want to make sure he's fully cured since we had that chameleon powder in between the layers. So the longer he goes, the better. Pour some more clear in here. Ended up in his toes. He's getting full. Okay. He looks full. Gotta move my resin over here for a second. And I am gonna just scoot him back. There we go. Now, we have a jar I wanted to pour. So, here's the jar, here's the lid. I'm gonna move Mr. Skeleton out of the way till after we see if we have extras. What do I want to do for this one? Let's do, well, you know what? Let's finish up some glitter we have. I hate glitter. I only like the ultra fine stuff, so let me yesterday I think it was Red Critter. That's an ultra fine. She poured like a ton of different glitters in one thing. Turned out really cool. That's it. Maybe we'll try that on this jar. And I can get rid of all these stupid little containers of glitter I hate. Okay. Let's grab a cup here. We're gonna pour some I don't know how much, well, it's a less resin mold, it should have it on there. I don't see it. A lot of times Let's resin molds will have how many ounces they take. I don't see it on this one. But we'll dump that color. That gets rid of that one. That gets rid of that one. I despise glitter. Okay, let's see what kind of mess we have here. I like making jars because I like making practical things. I mean, the animals, like the axolotls and the pigs, and those are all cutesy things, and you know, they're okay. Kids like them and stuff. But me personally, I like the practical stuff. So trays, jars, that is the kind of stuff that I like to do. Don't get me wrong, it's fun decorating these animals, but I'm more of a practical type crafter. Let's see how far we get. And I just packed it full of glitter. I should have put some glue in it probably, but I think that there's plenty of glitter in here. Well, it takes more than that. That's fine, because I got more glitter that I do not want. Plus, glitter is just a nightmare to clean out of your... That's why I'm using the paper cups, because cleaning it out of your plastic cups or even your silicone cups, it's a pain in the butt. So I am definitely not a glitter person. Oh, but look, we have more over here. I'm going to use this paper cup for this whole jar. The jar, the lid, because I am not cleaning a cup that has this much glitter in it. Okay, well that took care of the jar. Now we gotta pour the lid. This is a screw-on lid, so it's threaded. And make sure that is all got down in all the crevices. Let's pour some more in here just to do the lid. See how much more glitter do I have over here that I don't want. They give you all these little bitty containers with different little kits. And so and yes, please, especially if you're new to resin, I'm not going to preach to those of you who already, do resin, but wear your PPE, your respirator, your gloves. I've told you before, I have severe arthritis in my hands, and I also have some numbness, so for me to wear gloves, it makes it very, very difficult for me to work. I have been doing resin since 2016. I am not allergic to it. At least not a brand that I found I'm allergic to. I mean, there may come a day, but right now, see all those bubbles coming up when I squeeze it? Just pop it. Looks like we're getting the bubbles out of there. We have some rising up over here too, which I will spray. I don't have a vacuum chamber or anything, so I have, I'm old school. They didn't have those things around when I started. I would not get a vacuum chamber just because of the room. I don't have enough room for one of those. But I do down the road plan on getting one of the like Resin, and I think there's a couple other brands that have the debubbler, which is a much smaller machine. But right now, we just do things the old school way. When I started, they didn't have any of this fancy stuff. There were no heat mats, there were no debubblers, automatic mixers, no, none of that. Put that back there. I might have a muddied frog. You know what I should have done? I should have done what I did the other, when I was pouring this other jar and put glue in my alcohol ink so that they didn't combine. But we will see when he comes out. Alright, let's look at the frog. He seems to be cured. We're going to pop him out, and you can see him right now. And then I can put my light away. I'll have to trim him up and decorate him, but okay, so there he is. Like I said, I have some overpour, so I need to do that. I am gonna set him back under here out of the mold real quick. Oh, Axolotl, what happened to you? All my alcohol's mixed, that's what happened to him. Okay. Now, let's see. I do want to pour. Let me pour some of these. These are an INTORESIN mold. They're little animals. There's a pig, a bear. just pour a couple of these. Ooh, he's almost over. I still have some more resin sitting over here. Just a little bit. This cup straight to the trash. Okay, I have a little bit more resin over here. So I am going to mix in. I have these INTORESIN handmade molds. These are for pendants. They're little water ripples. So we are going to pour some of these, but I am going to put, I don't want to use that with the glitter, no. Get a clean one. Okay, so in this, let's see. Oops. Making a mess. I'm going to do some of this little sparkle. I'm also going to do, what am I looking for? Right here, interference. Or not interference, Aurora. Aurora. And maybe some sapphire blue, just a teeny tiny bit. Okay, so that's, we've got this nice blue. And let's pour some of these. Okay. Pour a couple more of these. I'll fill this one up with clear, since I have some sitting over here. Okay, I'm gonna set that down for a second. Tipping it over. Just pour some plain clear into here to fill this one. Okay. Oh, Axolotl, you're not looking very good, but hopefully we can make you cute in the end. I should have put the glue in there to gel those. Now his ear, his antenna, or his gills, looks like they have all different colors in them. Okay, so for the last, we're going to fill up the skull. Let me move this out of the way. Frog, I just need to fix up. Okay, we have blue, we have Aurora powder in there. What do I want to mix with this? You know what, let's just pour the rest of it into here. That's going to be my swamp axolotl. I was watching I don't know what it was. It was like a documentary on axolotls the one night. And it was like this cave with this, because I believe they're freshwater, but it was like this cave that had like this swamp pond in it that they were pulling tons of axolotls out of. And they were pulling out all different colors, some that looked like swamp, like that. Some that were like pink. all different kinds. Okay. This will finish up this resin. Okay, let's stir this up and see. It's a very light blue now because I've added all that clear into what was left in there. So now, is there any other thing I want to pour before I throw it all into my skull? What do I have sitting around? This is a new mold. Let's pour a couple of these hearts. Brand new mold, just got it. We're gonna have a lot to demold tomorrow. Go over there. Okay. We're gonna pour some in here. I'll try this big one. This is barely tinted blue at this point. I'm gonna put a little more blue because I may just throw the rest of it into this skull. I'm gonna pour one more of these and then I'm gonna stick the rest in the skull. Here we go. Okay guys, I am gonna clean up my mess. I will put the heat mat on. Well, I'm gonna clean up my mess and do the frog. I'm gonna pause you guys. I'll come back and show you what I have done to the frog and clean up this mess. Talk to you guys in a minute.